YouTube. Welcome to the Fantasy Football Perspective. Jim and I have this weekly show called the Football Betting Perspective, and we are coming off a rough week, hoping to turn around for you guys. And we were just talking a little bit before, Jim. What a week, man.
Oh, it's disastrous, man. I'm sure it's just for the whole betting community. I mean, it's just as far as trying to predict games last week, as far as even on the college side and especially the NFL side, is just almost impossible. I mean, and of course, we always want to try to go with the favorites. Very rarely do we ever, really go with the dogs. But man, if we would have went with the dogs on the college side and the NFL side, we would have won big money.
Dude,
it's just
crazy. Not only were the dogs covering, they were winning the game outright. You got Jacksonville, Denver Broncos.
I mean, who would have thought
Titans?
Buffalo? Yeah, I mean, who would have thought Buffalo would have lost? What they lost to Jacksonville, right?
Yeah, 9-3.
Yeah, I mean, how can you predict that? I mean, here's the best NFL team, and they had an off week, and Jacksonville just shuts them down in a low scoring game. I mean,
it was hard to watch.
Crazy
man.
stuff.
It was real hard to watch, and
it was
just over and over and over again. I mean,
yeah, it's just unbelievable, man. It's just ready to get that week done and move on to the next, and hopefully this week is a little bit easier on the pocketbook.
I'll tell you what, we do this pick 'em. I've done it for about 5 years now. I know you joined it with me and took it over this year, you and little Jimmy. There's been a week like this every single week. There's been a week like this every year since I can remember. 1 week where the underdogs just demolished the board, and 5 or 6 upsets, and you're like batting 500, just picking the winner straight up.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
You can't even pick the game straight up. It's that's when you're hurting.
Mm-hmm. Way off. So let's go ahead and do a quick recap of last week. Our Sizzling 6 picks of the week weren't so sizzling last week, but they'll be on fire this week. Our first pick, we picked Wake Forest plus 2.5, and we bought the point to get to 3.5. And that very, very lucky buy the point cover here. Only ended up losing by 3. Dude, these guys had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. North Carolina comes out just like a bat out of hell and just starts scoring at will. What was going on?
They just started to just stop playing defense. I mean, there was no defense in this game. I mean, the play here, obviously, real easy play would have been the over. Yep. You know what I mean? Yep. Go with the over and roll with it. I mean, and then you can just sit back and you don't really care who wins the game. You're rooting for Wake Forest because you want to see them, go undefeated. And in every intents purposes, they should have. Mm-hmm. But they came out and didn't play no defense. And North Carolina hangs 24 points on them in the fourth quarter. I mean, come on, man.
It's crazy. And hell of a performance by North Carolina's running back. 22 carries, 213 yards, 4 TDs. Good game for him. But we got the late cover, so if you guys bought the point, good job. And we're rolling on here. I had the Raging Cajuns on Thursday night last week, and they just could not get their offense going, man. They're a very run-dominant team, and Georgia State was just ready for it this time.
Yeah, low-scoring game. I watched that game. They just, never, like you said, their whole thing is the running game, and they never can get it going. I mean, the first half, scoreless, in the game. It was frustrating.
It was very frustrating, but that might be the last time I pick a Thursday game. They're always wacky, man. It's hard.
It's rough.
Your first lock of the week was SFMU minus 4.5 at Memphis. You bought bought 1.5 to get to 3. Memphis pulls the upset at home, 28-25. SFMU tried to come back in that fourth quarter, just didn't have enough time.
Yeah, I was feeling, I was starting to feel a little bit better, at halftime being, 10-7. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to come rolling out. They're going to shut Memphis down, make the adjustments. and then, maybe score 21 in the second half and then just easily cover. And then they just laid an egg. Yeah. Totally laid an egg.
It happens, man. Upset Saturday coming at you, and Sunday. And we both picked the Baylor Bears. I think we both really, really liked this game. I loved it. This was my lock of the week.
I did.
And they just couldn't get it going. I know they came out 7-0. I saw TCU tied it up. It's just like Baylor never pressed that gas pedal, man. And TCU, these Big 12 defenses are all frauds in the grand scheme of things.
I tell you, it's like every game is a coin flip in the Big 12. Every single game, you just don't know.
Don't know who's going to show up, man.
You don't know who's going to show up. I mean, here's TCU. Fires their head coach. They got an interim, head coach. Baylor's rolling offensively. The defense is pretty sound, and maybe they overlooked, running into TCU here.
Yeah, Oklahoma next week.
Yeah. I mean, what the heck? I mean, I'm staying away from Big 12 games.
TCU's putting up almost 600 yards of offense on Baylor. I mean, it's crazy, man.
That's insane.
That's ridiculous.
All
right, let's dig into these upsets Sundays now. Oh, Cowboys, man. Getting their ass beat. Just looked horrible, man. They were scoreless through three quarters.
Home.
Looked horrible.
At home.
How can you
at home? The Broncos. Teddy Bridgewater comes off of, being injured. He's playing in this game, and he plays the game of his life. I mean, he was unstoppable. Unstoppable. Didn't make any mistakes.
That Broncos defense is for real, too.
Oh, no, they didn't make any mistakes, and Bridgewater is definitely, he just flowed. I don't know what happened to the Cowboys here. They could not stop him.
It's a hiccup week, man. Just a hiccup week. Moving on. Raiders travel to New York. They were favored by 3, and the Giants laid it on them for another upset this week.
Yeah, and they were 7-7 in the first. Missed an extra point. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're still at that point. If you don't miss an extra point, it's 14-10. At that point, and you're still covering, and then they just kept New York, the Giants around. They just hung around.
Yep.
You can't let teams like that hang around, especially
with you.
They have nothing to lose. So
yep,
they won.
I still like the Raiders. They're a good team. It's just I mean, it sucks that you don't know with these kind of picks. It seems like it should happen, and these upsets happen, especially in the NFL. A wacky week. And let's talk about this, man. We both really liked Buffalo this week, going against Jacksonville, who hasn't been able to stop anybody all year. And Jacksonville sneaks out a win, and Josh Allen looked horrible, man. There's no run game, just their offense, man.
Who could have ever imagined that the end of this game, the score would have been 9-6?
Yep, 15 points.
The Bills had 2 field goals. That was their score. 2 field goals in the first half. And they got a goose egg in the second half from Jacksonville. Are you kidding me? One of the worst teams in the NFL.
And someone called the police. There was Josh Allen on Josh Allen crimes that whole game. Did you guys see those stats? Josh Allen, the defensive end for the Jacksonville Jaguars, first person that picked off, fumble recovery, and sacked someone with the same name with him on the other side. That's kind of crazy.
Unreal. Unreal. Josh, you got to laugh at it. You really do.
It is so funny, man. And happy for Urban, man. He must have had a good bar night. Moving on. Patriots minus 3.5 rolling against Carolina. I don't know what's going on in Carolina, but Darnold looks like trash, and he broke his back or something, broke his clavicle. Or
he got something. Yeah, he broke something. I can't remember.
I saw a pretty funny post that said Sam Darnold has an incomplete fracture of his scapula, and someone replied, "He can't even complete a fracture." So 3 interceptions against the New England defense. New England defense is legit, but this is just a bad performance by the Carolina offense.
Yeah.
Titans go on Sunday Night Football, LA Rams. No Derrick Henry. No offense. And Lay an egg, man.
I'm telling you, everybody had money on the Rams.
Yep.
Everybody. Derrick Henry's out. They're going to crush them. I mean, and they put up a measly 16 points.
It was hard to watch.
The Titans rolled, just destroyed them.
It was very, very hard to watch.
Another painful game.
Rams should have killed them, man. And then
and then what they said, after the game, all we had to do is get the quarterback, and they did it. Mm-hmm. They got to the quarterback. He could not do nothing. I mean, he could not pass. It was awful.
So let's go over the spread master and spread buster real quick. They both didn't come through for us real quick, but we picked Auburn. Spread master does. I don't really know if these guys. I don't think they know what they're talking about. The more we dig into this year, but Auburn picked them to cover 4.5. Hell, they didn't score 4.5. They only scored 3 points. 20-3. Bad call, spread master. And spread buster, man, called Cincinnati Bengals beating the Browns by 2.5. And here comes Cleveland. Watch out, Jim. I know that bank account's getting loose to pay all those bets you got going out. The second domino didn't fall, buddy. The second domino
I needed that. That was a part of the leg. I needed Cincinnati to win that one, man. So we failed on that one. So we're back to almost even now on that. So
what I tell you,
it's going to be a tight one.
The Browns' offense completely different without Odell. And thing about it is
Odell was a problem maker. He needed to go. He's not he just doesn't have the team chemistry.
Exactly.
It's all about him and me and nothing about team and man, they played lights out. They played a heck of a game. They were unstoppable. Man, they scare me.
Yep. And a couple caveats from this game that I've seen. Have you seen that clip running around where Odell's looks at Nick Chubb on the sidelines like, man, I want to score a touchdown. And Nick Chubb looks back and goes, I just want to win. There's one that points it. And another thing that's coming out recently is some film study of plays where Odell would just be running his own routes out there. Yes, he's open, but he's not where he was supposed to be, which makes complete sense why Baker Mayfield looked so uncomfortable. Now he has 4 receivers running the actual routes that they're supposed to run. And look how much better he looks. I guess he was just never where he was supposed to be, digging farther into it.
Whatever he's doing, obviously it's working for him, right? Mm-hmm. Not.
Yeah. So
farewell,
my friend. Enjoy your next team.
Yep.
I think he'll play well.
He will not have any more success. He will be done.
Yep. So.
I don't even know if he'll be next year might be his last year in the NFL.
Something's off, and he doesn't want to be the number 2. Well, a lot of teams have number 1s already, buddy. So good luck. Hope you the best. I hope you go to Green Bay and you and Rodgers are fighting on the sideline because I can see that happening.
Remember this. Attitude is everything.
100%. And it showed out, and you got all your family and friends to talk crap, and look what happens. Yeah. Look what happens. But you ready to dig into this week, Jim?
Let's go.
All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is our Sizzling 6 Picks of the Week here on the Football Betting Perspective, presented by the Legacy Lineup on Apple Podcast and Spotify. Woo! Let's do it, Jim.
All right.
What we looking at?
Let's start. We're going to go to college. Obviously we start with our first college picks. I got to go back to a go-to.
Okay, I'm loving it. What we do?
I should have gone to some go-tos last week, and I kind of was like, you can't hit them every week. Well, if I would have stuck with them, I would have done really well.
Yeah.
So, Syracuse, man, noon game at Louisville. Give me the 3 points in Syracuse. They're going to win this game outright.
Oh.
They'll win this game outright. Syracuse will beat Louisville in Louisville. I'm going to take the 3 points and run with it. And that's noon on Saturday.
So you like Syracuse +3. You going to buy a point or anything with that? Maybe a half a point?
I'd probably do it half. So get them at +3.5. Just keep them above that field goal score.
All right. I'm going to start us off, Jim. I like that pick. I stared at that game for a second. I just haven't got a very good chance to watch Syracuse play. And I know
their defense is good.
Yeah,
their
they are good.
I mean, they beat Clemson. They beat some good quality games. They're never out of the game. They're always right into it, right into the very end. So I'll take Syracuse, and I think they're gonna win the game.
So my first game is my lock of the week, and this is a team that I've got to watch play plenty of times. And Georgia's only minus 20 favorites against Tennessee, and this just doesn't even seem right to me. And I have a lot of stats really here that kind of back up my thought process. I think they're going to win really, really big. Tennessee has a very good and balanced offense, putting up about 450 game, but Georgia has one of the best, if not the best, defenses in the last 10 years that gives up 230 yards a game, and nobody has scored over 13 points on them all year. On top of that, Tennessee just gave up 600 yards of offense last week to Kentucky, who's not an offensive firepower by any means, and Georgia can score at will. So I'm just setting the bar up to 13 points, the max anyone's ever scored on Georgia this whole year. Let's say Tennessee gets 13. I'm fairly confident a team that just gave up 600 yards to Kentucky a week previous is going to give up 33 points to one of the best teams in the nation, if not the best teams in the nation.
Yeah.
So give me the minus 20. I'm going to buy a point to get to minus
call
19
it a lock
and call it a lock, ladies and gentlemen.
I like it. I like the philosophy there. That's for sure. All right. My second game. Let's go to 2 p.m. on Saturday. We got to go to Western Kentucky University.
Oh, boys. I love this game. What are we doing
Rice. It's our lock of the week.
Okay.
I think Western Kentucky's going to do it again. It's minus 18. We're going to buy 1.5 and get it under 17 or 16, get it down to 16.5. And I think Western Kentucky is going to roll and beat Rice. Their offense is too explosive. I love the quarterback for Western Kentucky. I think this is a lock of the week.
You got me on the Western Kentucky train. You told me they weren't going to cover last week, and they did.
They did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, that's what I was starting to say. If I would have just stuck to my trains, Western Kentucky's a train.
You got me on the Western Kentucky train, man. And here we are, the first same pick of the week. And I listen to what you say, and I start looking at the stats, and their offense is just too good, man. They're not going to be able to stop them. It's super special. This quarterback is for real.
Zappy, Mr. Zappy.
I'm going to bring up just the stats of the last
The Zap game. Attack.
They played against Middle Tennessee State, and here is Zappy putting up 4 touchdowns and nearly 300 yards. Just a common day in the office for Mr. Zappy.
If you watch this guy play quarterback, he is so relaxed, so comfortable. He makes dead-on throws. His accuracy is unbelievable. I mean, he doesn't get rattled. Yeah. I mean, it's just like he's a maestro back there. It's crazy. He just boom, boom, and he checks all of his reads. And man, just a great quarterback here.
Very good quarterback.
Man, they're going to destroy Rice.
All right, what is your third pick in the season?
Third pick. I'm going to go with a 4 p.m. game, University of Texas, El Paso. I rolled these guys before, kind of going right back to the well again on this. They're -1 against North Texas, at North Texas, 4 p.m. I really, really like University of Texas, El Paso. They got a really good offense. I think they're going to really easily win this game outright. And it's -1, so I think they'll definitely win by more than
pretty
1.
much a pick 'em at that point.
It is.
All right.
And like I said, I really like them. I think their defense is going to step up there and take care of business.
My last pick, I am going to Myrtle Beach, and I'm taking Coastal Carolina -10.5 against the same team that kind of screwed me over and started my week off rough last week against the Raging Cajuns. But I wrote some stats on this one too. Buying a point, get it to 9.5.
Now they're starting quarterbacks out.
Coastal Carolinas. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But here's some stats, though. 500 yards of offense, and Georgia State's given up 423. Coastal is at home where they're averaging 50 points a game in their 5 home games. Yes, their quarterback's out, which should change some things, but their attack's so balanced. I just can't see them stopping it.
Their running game is second to none too. So they're really solid as far as on the ground.
What do you think this line would be if the quarterback was healthy?
Oh, it would be probably 28.
Yeah, that's what I think so too. I just think there's too much firepower.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a home game.
I like that.
Different players at home.
I mean, the home team, man, you got to, especially Coastal Carolina, they'll be good.
All right. I just have a weird feeling we're going to have some of the same NFL games this week.
You think?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Well, I'm going to start out on Thursday.
Oh, we're not starting the same. I don't pick those Thursday games.
I'm going to Thursday.
Okay.
You know, I think the Ravens, squeaked one out here against the Vikings. And I think they really are going to show up this time. I'm going to buy 1.5, get it to -6, and give me the Ravens covering. I think they're going to destroy Miami. I don't think there's no way that Miami is going to be able to stop them.
Yeah, that's 2 different caliber teams, but those damn Thursday night games, man.
Yeah, I know it. But I tell you what, I really like the Ravens. I think they played against a tough, Vikings defense last week. They pulled it out. And I think they're going to go ahead and cover this week. And like I said, I'll buy 1.5 and get it to -6.
We're going to Jet Life. We're going Buffalo again. There's just no way.
I had that game. I crossed it out. They scared me from last week.
So,
I mean, the Jets, you remember of course,
Mr. White's back there. I know.
Is Mr. White going to be there
He's
this
the starter.
week?
Yep.
Really? They named him the starter. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I'm gonna buy 1.5 to get it to 11. And here's my reasoning: bounce back game, can't look as bad as last week. Lost to Steelers week 1, come out the next week and win 35-0. Lost to Titans, come out the next week, win 26-11. Horrible loss to Jaguars. Keep the pattern going, baby.
Yeah, that's good philosophy right there, because they got woke.
They did.
Woke up
and
last
there's
week.
just no way that's a fun practice for those boys this week.
No. Oh, I like it. All right. Well, let's go to a 1 p.m. Saturday. Saints at the Titans.
Okay. What are we thinking here?
Man, we talked about, the Titans and they shouldn't have beat the Rams, but they did. And not only did they beat them convincingly. The defense is outstanding. I think they're going to roll. I think the Saints aren't as good as everybody thinks they are. I mean, I think they've squeaked some things out, but they got a good defense. But I think the Titans, being at home, this is why I like them. I like them because they're at home this weekend, and their crowd is energetic. I think they cannot be beat at home. So give me it's -3. I'll buy a point, get it -2. And roll with it. Give me the Titans at home.
I like that pick. Home teams. Let's follow your trend, and I'm going to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers home team this week, playing against that terrible Lions team. And -9, you're giving me -9. If they just show up, man, they should win by at least 10 points. Just show up, Steelers.
Yeah.
Give me Steelers -9. I'm not buying a point. That's a pretty good number. I like that. I think they win by double digits. Offensive line's playing better.
The Steelers should have covered this week. They had it. They just got lazy there, and a couple bad calls went there. The fumble was crazy. That started it all. The fumble on the punt return. If he holds on to the ball, I think it's a different game, and the Steelers cover pretty easily.
Yep. I'm with you.
Anyways, it was crazy things in that game.
All right. What's your last pick, Jim?
Last pick. Let's go to a 4:00 game on Sunday. The Eagles at the Broncos.
I've stared at this game too.
We're going to go with Mr. Teddy Bridgewater. Woo! Home game, -2.5. I think the Broncos defense, I think their offense is going to put up the points, and I think their defense is going to shut down the Eagles. And I think they win the game. Plus, it's so hard to play in Mile High Stadium, especially in East Coast going up there, man. It's going to be difficult.
I like that. It is. It's rough. It's rough playing there. All right, boys and girls of the football betting perspective. Lucas is about to make another cardinal sin here, and here we go.
Oh, he's going
we're
to the
going
Browns.
To New England, ladies and gentlemen. And
Belichick, you gotta be careful.
Oh, I'm careful, but let me give you some stats.
Here we go, the stat man.
Offense is different without OBJ. I already told you what about how they run routes. They actually run the routes within the offense. Here's the stats about New England that's kind of crazy. They are 1-4 at home and 4-0 on the road. How can a team be that bad at home compared to road? It doesn't make any sense. So, I think the trend continues. I think this is a must-win for Cleveland. There's just no doubt about it. They have to win.
This is a must-win for Jim Stroker on the New England side.
I really do. I think New England's been blessed with a fairly easy schedule when I was digging into it so far to even get them to 5 wins. Who have they really beat? They gave the Dolphins their only win of the year. They beat the Jets. They played 2 good teams. They beat Houston. They lost to Dallas. They beat the Jets. They have 1 decent win all year against the Chargers. Everything else is just garbage, man. They have Bengal syndrome. And
Bengals syndrome.
But I think it's going to be a repeat. I mean, New England's coming out favorites. I'm taking the Browns plus 1.5. And like you said earlier, I think they win outright. I really do.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to watch. I'm betting against you on that one, Mr. Pollard.
Yep,
I have to.
You have to.
I have to. Got too much money riding on that one.
So this was our sizzling 6 picks of the week. So let's go and let the spread master and spread buster, screw up some more picks for us. So got a couple.
They got to both win this week.
They have to. The odds are in their favor. There's a
What about that Penn State Michigan game?
It was a pick 'em earlier. Now it's Michigan minus 1.5. So money's rolling in on Michigan. 75% of the money on Michigan.
You know who I like here? I like Penn State.
I do too, man. I really like Penn State. If I was betting this, which I probably will, I'll probably put some money on Penn State.
Oh, absolutely.
And now you're giving us a plus money line, so give me that all day. So
all right, so here we go. Will Michigan cover the minus 1.5 against Penn State?
The outcome cannot be predicted.
Okay, he's got to think a little bit more.
Cannot be predicted. Well, spread master, why are we paying you for, man? You got to predict it.
The answer is yes.
Ooh.
So he's saying that Michigan's going to cover.
Makes me even more confident that they won't.
Yeah, because he's not got a great record. He's like totally destroyed everything. So, all right, now let's pick a good game for the spread buster.
You want to go Oklahoma and Baylor?
Oklahoma and Baylor, I like it.
Oklahoma traveling to Baylor. That's a hard place
I got to
say
though, we have given them tough games.
We have. They're real tough
games.
Not games.
All right, here we go. So we have
5.5.
Oklahoma minus 5.5. Do they cover? He's thinking about it too. He says he cannot predict right now.
They're getting cold feet here on the football betting perspective.
I think they're scared. All right, go again. Does Oklahoma cover the minus 5.5? It is certain.
Okay.
He's going with Oklahoma covering the minus 5.5 on the road. He has spoke.
My gosh, Spread Buster. All right. So let's take a little look at our picks of the week. I'll bring up this spreadsheet so you guys can have a glance. This is our week going into week 10 NFL and week 11 NCAA, our sizzling 6 picks of the week. And we're going to have a bounce back week, ladies and gentlemen. There's no doubt about it. So take a picture of that. Do your own research. See if you agree with us. Throw some money on it and win some damn money. Jim, is there any
Let's go.
is there any extras that you like? Little sneaky picks?
Just like, I do like the little Penn State game, there. I like that. I like the Memphis game at East, playing East Carolina at home. I like Memphis -5.5. Here's one that I think it's going to be all right. I'd like to I'll take Purdue plus the 20 against Ohio State.
Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah, I think Purdue's going to hang right with them. I mean, they proved himself again last week.
Will you put that money on there so Ohio State covers?
Yeah, no, it's a cardinal rule. Do not break the rules. I broke the rules this year, and it cost me.
Oh yeah. All right, I like those. That's a scary game for a Buckeyes fan. I'll tell you that.
It is scary.
But
it's really scary.
We should be okay. Hopefully, we can get our offense rolling. Garrett Wilson's back, but as always,
we win the game, and we were going to win the game, and
I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well be where everything clicks and we just have a blowout.
They have a hell of a receiver.
Yep, they do.
Mr. Bell. All right. As always, if there's any comments, questions, anything, drop that below. I'll be happy to answer you guys. Remember, this is our perspective. I hope you all have a great night. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We're going strong 10 weeks in, Jim.
I know, unbelievable.
It's going to be good.
Fast.
It's going to keep getting better and better, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.